Hello and welcome to Vegan Cafe 21. Today we are making a very nutritious and refreshing quinoa salad. There are three parts to this recipe. First one, of course, is getting our quinoa ready. Next, chopping our vegetables. And third is going to be preparing our salad dressing. So let's get started with making our quinoa. Here I have 1 cup or about a little more than 6.5 ounces by weight of quinoa. I'm going to simply season it with pink salt. Here I have half a teaspoon of it. You can adjust salt to your taste and liking, use more or less of it. To boil 1 cup of quinoa, we are going to use 1.5 cup of water. And I'm also going to grind some black pepper and drizzle just half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of olive oil into our pot when I start boiling the quinoa. I have a pot that's ready on the stove to which I'm going to add our washed quinoa. To our washed quinoa, I'm adding the water, pink salt, grind some fresh black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. Give it a good stir and let it come to a boil. As you can see, our quinoa has started to boil. So now I am going to put the lid. I have lowered the heat, but just enough to maintain the bubble throughout the cooking process. It is going to take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, but we are going to start checking on it at the 15-minute mark. While our quinoa is cooking, we will start prepping our vegetables. Now you can be creative, use whatever vegetables you like. I happen to love the ones that are here on the board. I'm going to use 1 red bell pepper, 1 green apple, 1 carrot. You can add more carrots if you love carrots, 1 English cucumber. I have about a fistful of baby spinach. These are lightly roasted pecan halves, about 2 ounces by weight. And here I have 2 ounces of sweetened dried cranberries. Now, if you don't like sweetened cranberries, you can substitute them with the raisins of your choice. Or if you prefer, you can add halved red grapes. So I have my bowl in which I'm going to assemble the salad right here. All I'm going to do is chop and drop these vegetables into this bowl. We are going to chop these vegetables in small pieces. So just make sure you remove the seeds and veins from the pepper. Now when cutting a cucumber, if it has too many seeds, you just may want to just scrape them just a little bit because they are going to bring too much of the water content to your salad. Now we are going to chop our spinach leaves into ribbons, but we are going to add this last. You can add your quinoa to these vegetables and pour the dressing over it, set it in the refrigerator 2 to 3 hours before you're ready to serve. But spinach is something you want to add just before serving, otherwise you'll run the risk of wilting the leaves. All right, our quinoa is ready, so I'm going to turn the heat off and let it sit uncovered. We have to make sure our quinoa is at room temperature before we add it to our vegetables. This is something you can even do the night before or earlier in the day you want to prepare your salad. Now we're going to fluff up our quinoa to help it cool quickly. And also make sure the grains are not sticking to each other. Now we come to the third step of preparing our quinoa salad, which is getting the dressing ready. So for making our dressing, we are going to use 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm using 2 different kinds of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and 1 tablespoon of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar. You can use either or, just adjust the quantities. If you are just using apple cider vinegar, you can use 2 tablespoons of that instead of a tablespoon of balsamic. Here I have 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of spicy brown mustard, half a teaspoon of pink salt. You can adjust salt to your taste and liking, use more or less of it. Here we have a pinch of garlic powder. If you don't want garlic powder, totally omit it, no harm done. And I'm also going to grind some black pepper. So let's get to making our dressing. All we are going to do is take a bowl that's large enough to hold all these contents, pour them in and emulsify them using a whisk. Now I'm going to add some black pepper to this. So our dressing is ready. All the oils, the vinegar and everything is nicely emulsified. We are going to set it in the refrigerator. Once our quinoa cools down completely and comes to room temperature, we are going to put our salad together. All right, so we have all of our ingredients ready for our salad. Now before adding your dressing to the salad, make sure you give it a quick taste test. It's very good. If you want your dressing to be on the sweeter side, you can definitely add 1 more teaspoon of maple syrup to it after you give it a taste. Same goes with salt and pepper. Here's another suggestion. If you want a little spicy kick to it, add a splash of hot sauce and whisk it in. So let's put our salad together. Now since we are going to consume it right now, I'm going to add our spinach right away. Add our quinoa, the cranberries and nuts go in as well. And now we pour over our dressing. Mix everything nicely. Make sure dressing coats everything in the bowl. And this is the salad that longer it sits, the better it tastes, because all the dressing gets nicely absorbed by the quinoa grain and also our veggies. This can be served as a side salad or a meal by itself. Now let's give it a quick taste test. Delicious. There you have it, a vibrant, nutritious quinoa salad. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please do give it a try and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon with more vegan favorites.